Hi guys, back again. I haven't done this in so long, and you know what? Honestly, I was not gonna do any more brow videos until I started getting some comments, and all of a sudden, our brow video that not that many people watch is at like 700 views right now. And it's so funny because I saw that after I had already filmed this. So today we are doing a brow mapping, a brow waxing, and a brow tinting. So that's why this video is so long. You guys are getting a full blown brow transformation. So this is the before. As you guys see, I want you guys to notice. I hate to be a spoiler, but if you guys notice the front of her brow right there, it dips down. I've been working with my sister in her brows for a couple of months now. Some spaces just aren't growing in as they should, so we kind of just have to work with what we got. So this is how you brow map. So first you put the spoolie pencil, whatever you're using, at the tip of the nose, on the side of the tip of the nose. This is going to show you where your brow should start. You can make 1 dot, 2 dots, whatever you need. Then you're going to angle it counterclockwise and you're going to place it on the arch. That will show you where the arch should go. This is where you're going to create the shape. Always remember that you shape from the bottom, not the top. And then you're going to go on the outer edge of the nose. You're going to place the spoolie or your pencil, and that will show you where the brow should end. Now, I didn't brow map her. I didn't show how to do it before because I do her brows all the time. And really, after you brow map for a while, you could basically kind of do it with your eyes visually. But this is a tutorial on how to do it. If I'm not as in depth as that sounds helpful, sorry. I'm going to link a video down below of benefit. And I'm just going to draw a straight line through these dots that I created. And then I'm going to begin to trace her brow from the hairs that I see, from the lines I created, of how the shaping should go. Now, me and my sister have been talking about her brows for a while. She's really wanted more of an arch, more of a shape. However, her brows were kind of like two different situations when I first seen them. However, I was going to give her more of a shape today. Now, if you guys notice, I went a little bit higher because, again, you shape from the bottom. So whenever you're going to create arches or, make a dramatic shape, it always is from the bottom, never from the top. So that's why I cut those little hairs out. And yeah, I'm just tracing this out. Sorry that it got blurry. I bought my regular lens back, and the thing is, Sony just loves to autofocus. So I'm not gonna complain about autofocus, but you know, this is the moments where it can kind of kill. So this is what it basically looks like, and this is just a rough patch for how you're gonna wax. Now, I will let you know this in advance. When you wax like this, you are going to have to tweeze a decent amount because this is just a rough sketch. So even though I wax as close as possible, you're still gonna have to, do something. This angle is a little bit better. Guys, please bear with us when I film these videos. My tripod does not have enough room to fit, so literally I have to, my sister or whoever's doing it has to hold the camera, which is kind of uncomfortable. And then again, the tip of the nose, and then you're just gonna trace this out. If you're new to waxing, take it slow with the wax. You guys are gonna see I get pretty close to her brow hairs, but that is because I'm used to waxing. In the beginning, you're probably gonna have to tweeze a lot. So, which even still, you're gonna see you go back and tweeze like 4 or 5 times. Anybody who does brows like as a career will tell you that your tweezers are your best friends. So I'm just going and I'm creating that shape. So sorry that this is what you could see, but I felt like the blurry version would be better than the no version. I didn't draw my lines as long on this one because I could basically see I do her brows all the time. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna outline. Ignore my ashy fingers, crusty nails. Ooh, I didn't get my nails done. Let's not worry about that. I'm just gonna outline that out, and basically the outline shows you the no zone. Now, obviously, if you're this is not perfect, so if you see that you do a line too low and you start waxing, you notice that when you start waxing, don't just dip down randomly. But it just gives you a guideline of how to trim and how to wax. I don't know if people brow map and thread. I don't know how to. I've tried to thread, but it's not my cup of tea. So next I'm gonna trim. To trim, I use some Tweezerman scissors, and I'm gonna just trim her up. Get those extra hairs. Before she didn't want to trim, but now she wants to trim because it's a cleaner look. Just gonna trim her up. I'm gonna link all the products that I use down below, and I'm gonna link the Amazon with the wax I use, the wax machine I use, all that great jazz. trim her up. Don't over trim. Try not to over trim. Don't get too scissors happy, because you can always go back and trim some more. You can't put the hair back. And sometimes we don't realize that when you brush hair to the side, if you notice, I keep brushing up into the side, because certain hair, it might be long up, like upwards, but when you brush it to the side, it's like filling in the place with certain hair. So if you trim too short, that's how you create a lot of holes in the brow. So do not trim too precisely. You will regret it. You can always go back. So I'm just going in with that Satin Smooth Sensitive Skin Wax, and I'm going in upwards motions. So the hair grows down. No, what am I trying to say? You go the direction, with the wax, you go the direction that the hairs go. So the hair grows up in that part of the brow. So I'm going to put the wax up. I'm going to push the wax up with the wax strip, but I'm going to pull it down. As you guys see, that was very fast because, again, I wax professionally with benefit. So you're not going to spend all day pressing in wax. Once you put it there, it's pretty much good to go. So again, you wax in the direction of the hair. So on that brow, her hair is growing in that direction. So that's where I'm going to push the wax. And I'm going to set the wax in that direction, but I'm going to rip the opposite direction. You guys have already seen me wax, so I'm going to be quiet the rest of this video and come back in during the tint. going in with a flat brush, and I'm going in with a concealer that's a lot lighter than her skin tone. And the reason why you want to do this, you want to make sure that there's a clear contrast. Some people use white, like a white pencil. I don't have a pencil like that, so I just use some concealer, and I just go on with a shade that's really, really, really light. It's not going to look the most pleasing, but it gives me a guideline as to where the tint should not go, because tint does stain the skin. So you want to make sure that you place the tint how you want it to set in, because if you set it on skin, it's going to stay on the skin, and then it's going to give the brow a very unsightly look. However, if you ever do make a mistake with tint, just understand that you can always go in with alcohol and it will pick up the tint. So that actually happened to me towards the end of this video, because I totally forgot that again, her brows are two different shapes. Oh my god, look at my chapped lips. Lord knows. Oh my gosh, you guys. Ew, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Do not thumbs down the video because of that. So now I'm just placing the tint. I'm going to link down below the tint that I use. Again, I am a licensed individual, so that is why I can do things like this. So as you guys see, I'm starting on the outer edge of her brow, because as soon as this is the same as dyeing any other hair. As soon as you place the product down, that's what starts processing first. So you do not want to start at the beginning of the brow, because as you guys know, the faded in look is what's popular now with brows. So they want that light in the front and darker at the back. That also looks more natural. And the thing I like about placing it on the concealer is that if I do happen to get any on her below skin, it's going to stain the concealer, not her skin. So I place the concealer anywhere I don't want it to go. So this is about the shape that I gave it. I don't like to go too much on the skin. I mainly like to keep it on the hair, because it sets better on hair. And again, I'm just following that same thing on this brow. But what I forgot is that this brow has more hair in the front. So the thing is, when you wax brows and you want to keep it as natural to the shape as possible, it's the flattering shape, you can sometimes leave certain hair certain places because it will look more flattering naturally. However, when you go to fill in the brows, sometimes the differences will be more noticeable. So it was more noticeable now. But I fixed it at the end with alcohol. I didn't show you guys it fixed because it was something that I realized. But as you guys can see, her right brow is way higher than the left one. But the left one doesn't have hair where the right one does in that top area. But I just ended up making the other one look lower with some alcohol. But you guys are not going to see that. So you just take regular water to wash off the tint. And don't be shy. Now, granted, you don't want to pull anybody's hair out, but you really want to make sure it gets off, because if you leave any residue, it will continue to develop, just like dye. So be careful. This water is not it's not a good thing. For some reason, the second time on, I always end up adding too much water. So you want to make sure you don't do that, because on a real life client, that is very uncomfortable. This is, however, my sister, and she's helping me for a demo. And again, I'm going with those tweezers because after the tint, you might see some unsightly hairs. At this time, I didn't notice the difference, so I didn't fix it for you guys, but I'm going to include a picture at the end of what the final product looked like. That is what you guys are going to see in the thumbnail. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. We hit 1,000 subscribers, period. Thank you guys. I appreciate everyone who clicks that button, who comments. You guys show me so much love. And honestly, sometimes I feel like I don't even deserve it. But thank you. If you guys haven't seen it yet, the kit video is already up before this. But look at that. Even with it being unsightly, look at how natural that is. If you go look in the beginning and after, it literally just adds the slightest of difference. So if you've ever been scared of tint because you think it's going to be jet black, not everybody's tint is jet black. Some of us are very natural. You know, give an illusion. Give the girls a little illusion.